All right, so today we have some more information on the final four trainers of the Gym Leader Challenge. We've got Koga, Sabrina, Blaine, and Giovanni. Giovanni, we still do not know his Pokemon yet, but he will have four of them, and they will be 2 levels higher than your Pokemon, as well as we are not sure what their EVs will be yet. So for the teams we haven't gone over, Lieutenant Surge, his EVs will be at 800. Erika, her EVs will be at 1000. Koga will be at 1400. Sabrina will have 1800 for EVs, as well as Blaine. And then Giovanni, we don't have that info yet, so it's potentially 1800. It could be 2000. I don't know for certain, but yeah, anyway, we can go into the team breakdowns. So for Lieutenant Surge, it is kind of one of the more difficult gyms in terms of typing, with them only having the ground weakness. But one option that you could do is you could just mirror match it, literally run Pikachu, Voltorb, Raichu, and just train it up higher EVs than what they have. And you should easily be able to clear it. The other options are, I've kind of picked out some here, but Umbreon with its good special defense, Ampharos, just a better special or better electric type in general, or else running like Mr. Mime, good psychic type with high special defense, Jinx, Snorlax, just good value picks there overall. Tier 1s, we're probably still looking at Drowsy, Smoochum, Vulpix, just some higher special defenses on them, as well as still just good value moves where you can hopefully still outbrawl them. I would definitely train your EVs some more for this one just to make sure that you can clear it easily, but yeah. For Erika, it's going to be another hard fight, especially because grass types are so strong in PvP. Just because all these drains and kind of pseudo healing moves like Leech Seed, which only thankfully Execute has. But overall, they are very healthy Pokemon that just are hard to get rid of unless you can do enough damage. So, in terms of top picks, I was kind of looking at Venusaur, who's just a better grass type than all of these. Hitmonchan does have some very good elemental punches with just good power, so he should be able to clear out a lot of these Pokemon pretty well. Gramble could also be Elemental Fangs, unless you want to run the Snubble instead for Tier 1, and then Arbok also has a lot of the elemental moves as well, so it can work its way through a lot of these Pokemon as well. Gengar could also be a good option, but he's probably better off running as your Tier 1 or Tier 2 pick in terms of Ghastly or Haunter. And then Muck is also a very solid pick as well, and Misdreavus for your Tier 2s. And then in Tier 1, like I said, we have the Snubble, Ghastly, Grimer, and Coughing. Just because you will get that type advantage with the poison moves. So overall, should be very doable, especially since we're still not into like the high IVs of the last few gyms. So, but definitely train above and beyond if you can, because it will definitely be a slog of a battle. And then of course we have Koga here, whose EVs are 1400, who has Weezing, Golbat, and Venomoth. Some of the top picks here, Magcargo should do very well into this team, especially against the Golbat and Venomoth. Being able to hit both of them for super effective, and Venomoth even having both the fire and rock. And then Venomoth will just be a very good pick into this as well, with having the Psychic and the Confusion. So it'll definitely help you out through Weezing and Golbat. On Venomoth, you would probably want to brawl it with something else, like maybe a Magmar pick in Tier 2, something like that. But then Noctowl is another very strong one, just because it's got those psychic moves with just that normal flying typing. So you kind of get the upside that Venomoth doesn't in terms of being Venomoth having the weaknesses. Gengar will be very strong here. Amistar, uh, Umbreon, even I think Blastoise is just very good value. He's just a very strong PvP mon, and they do not resist him. And then same with Ampharos. Ampharos will do very good damage against a lot of these with having that super effective against Golbat even. And then, let's see, we also have Skarmory, who will just resist everything that they throw at him. He'll actually have a lot of immunes to the wheezing with all those psychic or all those poison moves, things like that. Tier 2, that Haunter again, Misdreavus, even Electabuzz. Electabuzz just very good with not being resisted, and then it can definitely kill that Golbat. And then the Magcargo, as I said, or not Magcargo, the Magmar. And then my personal favorite pick from Tier 1, the Agumon there. If you know, you know. He's definitely the best pick for this gym, if you can manage to get him. So, in general, though, I would suggest just following the 1 Tier 2 and 2 Tier 3 picks permitted on this gym, because they are just that much stronger. So I wouldn't generally downgrade from here on, because you will want that power just to help you get through these gyms. And then for the last 3, I figured I'd help you guys out with the tiers here, but I'm not going to give any picks or the full info that I have for the other ones. If enough people want it, you can comment or message me, and I may go through and make it. Don't know when I'll release it though, but for now I will just give you the picks here at least. But just to give a little bit of a challenge on these last ones, I will give a hint. There is 1 Tier 2 that could do pretty well into this gym, but in general, Tier 3 is where you'll want the majority of your Pokemon. But there is 1 Tier 2 pick that could help you out, if you can figure out what it is. For Blaine, your real challenge here is probably going to be the Ninetales, just because it is such a strong PvP mon. You may want to try and think about what you're going to try and match up against it, and then figure out what you can clean up with against the other 2. But the main pick that you'll have to focus on here is that Ninetales, and you are at a 1 level disadvantage, so I'd definitely train up to 2000 EVs. That way you take advantage of that difference that you can get. As for Giovanni, here is the Pokemon that you can pick from. Unfortunately, it will all be speculation here. Just be expecting some, it looks like, ground and potentially poison types. So you can start kind of trying to think about that and figure out what might be good there, but hopefully we will get more information on that. We will see what we get there. And then here we have the footage from my gym battle. You'll see that I managed to actually only go through with Snubbull. I did have it trained almost fully up, so against the 500 EVs of Brock, it ripped through pretty well, you'll see. I'm kind of using a hit and run strat where I'm kind of dodging his moves and then only going in when I kind of have Ice Fang and Bite Up, things like that. So that way I take advantage of my super effective while avoiding taking a whole bunch of extra damage. If you were to use Hypno or any other ranged, you will want to keep your distance to avoid taking unnecessary damage while you sit there and you hit them with those super effectives in terms of your confusion, things like that. Same for Smoochum, but yeah, it's pretty easy first gym to go through if you can kind of manage the range of them, as well as just having your moves up, because you will hit that energy deficit if you try and just use every move, which when your neutrals or like your normal type moves are hitting for resisted, it's better if you can just save your energy for those super effectives that you have. But yeah, that's some kind of quick tips and tricks for battling. And then if you do see a projectile coming at you, if you manage to use your dash through it, you can typically avoid the damage from it, as well as if they use any sort of speed boosting moves like tackle, takedown, double edge. If you dash through them as they would make contact, it will usually cancel out that damage and resist and reset that move. So